This episode, We Like Shooting Show, is brought to you by Second Call Defense, Manticore Arms, the Sonoran Desert Institute, Faxon Firearms, the Patriot Patch Company, and Brownells.
Welcome to the We Like Shooting Show, episode 300. Tonight we're going to talk about No Other Choice firearms training, tactical glasses, Strike Industries reloaded ammo, laser app, and more. Our panel tonight is Reddit's very own Savage 1R. We've got River's Edge Tactical's Jeremy Posderick, who should be here. Oh, there he is. He's there right now.
Oh, my God.
We've got the Machine Gun Moses, Aaron Krieger, new guy, Nick Lynch. My name is Sean Herron, and I want to welcome you all to the show. All right. Okay, so I have a little story for everybody who's listening. Jeremy, talk real quick and make sure we can hear you. Jeremy? All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
This is it.
All right. So I was in Ohio over the weekend teaching a medical class at River's Edge Tactical, and I scheduled my flight so that I would be able to get back to the studio in time to do the show, no problems whatsoever. So that was when Colorado decided that it was the dumbest thing that has ever lived, and decided, Nick, how much snow did we get? Like a foot?
Yeah. Roughly.
Yeah, so what normally would take 1 hour and 24 minutes to get to the studio from the airport took 4 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. So I walked into my house right around the time that the show would have normally been over. So it didn't work out. So we had to cancel on our guest. And then we were like, okay, well, we will just record the main show on Wednesday. We'll do double tap later because I actually have to fly out in the morning. So then I get to the studio tonight at about 7 p.m. and Google Hangouts is completely down. So that is the way that we bring everyone in and do the show. So we have had to we're using Skype right now. Hey, Jeremy, can you hear us? Okay, good. So
He's nodding.
Jeremy,
He's just going to leave.
I don't know. Is my microphone working?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
We heard the groan and the spit.
Yeah. So everything's a disaster right now. We're using Skype to record this. This is episode 300. It should have been an amazing live event, and it is absolutely not. But we're going to get into the show. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to talk about Manticore Arms. All right. I was just talking to Sven from Manticore Arms yesterday, and just talking about, everything, how business is going. Business is going well, and people are ordering transformer rails. So transformer rails still seem to be pretty popular. It was kind of funny today. I asked Nick if he had a Keymod QD mount, and it was weird because I'm so not used to having to use a specific one. I'm just like, oh, I have an M-Lock, but I don't have a Keymod, and that's the cool thing. The M-Lock mount that I actually had would have worked if it was a transformer rail, but I wasn't putting it on a transformer rail. Yeah, the chats are super loud, so don't do that. So ManticoreArms.com, transformer rails can support Picatinny, M-Lock, and Keymod all on the same rail, all at the same time. And go there and use coupon code WLS10 to give you 10% off all day, every day. And I promise you will like it. If you don't, Aaron will give you your money back. Right, Aaron?
Wait, I personally would give them money?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now, we owe our guest a great apology. He's the co-creator of the laser-activated shot reporter software. His name is John Wallace. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey.
Before the show, we were like, how you doing? He's like,
It's live studio audience. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they're here. Google didn't screw everything over. But how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Like you said, I kind of had it hung up the other night, and the best part is that I don't get to just hang out at home and wait for this. I get to wait at the office because I live in the sticks with no internet. So
it's excellent. It's excellent. We do appreciate you rolling with our punches. Normally, we're a little bit better organized, I guess. I don't know. Can't do much about Mother Nature or Google, but I still feel bad. Tell us, what is the LASR app?
So the laser software, laser activated shot reporter, is an app that you can put on any phone, tablet, or computer. It uses a camera to watch whatever you want as targets. Those are just pieces of cardboard and paper on the wall there. Let me go ahead and get this one locked here. And it's going to show you where you hit, how fast you were. It's also going to give you diagnostic feedback on your shot. You probably aren't going to be able to see it very good in the camera feed here because of low resolution and blah, blah, blah. But you can kind of get the basic idea. So showing me where I hit, how fast I was at the timesheet. That's just the basic functionality. Obviously, it does quite a bit more than that. But the idea is you can use any hardware that you want. You can set it up and practice however you want. That's the gist of it.
That's pretty awesome. So you use like a SIRT pistol or some kind of other cartridge that goes in the gun, whatever it happens to be?
Yeah, so you can use a SIRT pistol. You can use an insert for your own gun. You can use – there's devices out there that recoil. If you got really deep pockets, you can spend money on those. If you got time, I'll give you my opinion on them. But
nice. No, I love it. So wait, I'm looking at your setup there. Is that a tablet?
Yeah, that's a tablet. Like I said, you can use any phone, tablet, or computer. I actually usually prefer to use computers, but tablets do work a little nicer for displaying like this. You know, it's just sleeker and cleaner. You don't have to have a bunch of like webcam and stuff hanging off of it.
Very cool, man. So, and I actually have the software. I haven't used it actually in a couple of years, and you being on the show, I was like, dang, I really need to use that because we have like our whole studio here. We could set up all the targets and run like a webcam every single day. And just walk in, and I mean, we've got certs all over the place here, so we could just walk in and be practicing. Instead, we're just sitting here sucking more and not getting any better, and I think we need to improve that.
Yeah, absolutely. Laser's a great tool. Not only does it give you that feedback to make your dry fire practice more valuable, but a big thing that it does is make your dry fire practice more fun so that you actually do it. And that's kind of a big key. The best tool is the one that you're actually going to use. One thing you mentioned that you've had it for a couple of years now. I'm guessing you probably got a review copy or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember for sure. There's a lot of review copies hanging out there. One thing I will mention is there's two different versions of the app. The one that's been around for 7 years now is Laser Classic. That is Windows only. The new one, which is Laser X, is cross-platform compatible. You can use it on any device, including Windows, Apple, Android, Linux, if you really wanted to.
I was going to try to stump you with Linux.
Yes. Yes.
So I can set my Raspberry Pi up with it?
You could. It'll probably run like hot garbage, but you could.
That's okay. I don't have a Raspberry Pi, so we're all in the same boat.
I have one, but I don't want to use it.
I have one.
Yeah, you guys are nerds.
We are.
Nerds!
It's true. It's all true. So if I remember correctly, you can have like any target shape. You could set something up that's on your wall, like a candlestick or something up as a target, you know, as long as it kind of reflects that and allows it to see the dot, it'll work, right?
Yeah, as long as the laser impact can be seen. This is a really boring target setup. This is just kind of a generic demo setup. If we wanted to be fancy, we'd get some target stands out and set them at different distances and different angles and have them all over the room and stuff like that. But that would mean I'd have to clean up the rest of the office so that you could see it. And
nah, forget it. It's not worth it. But if I also remember, you can set it. I mean, it has par times. It has random starts. You can set it up like USPSA and kind of set up your own classifiers, and it'll say shooter ready, stand by. It'll kind of do all the things, right? So it's not just targets. It does a lot of different stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's a feature list as long as you're armed. You can check it out on our website. If you just Google LASR, you'll find tons of reviews and videos. And one of the cool things is we're always developing new stuff. There's always new stuff coming out. So that feature list is always growing.
Very cool. What's the thing that people talk to you the most about and appreciate about the software?
One of the big things is just usability and price point. The laser software, you can get the software for as little as $9. Now that's a month. If you don't like subscriptions, you can just pay $120 and that's it for life. You get it updates and support for life. So you're talking about super accessible, and it does way more than anything that you can compare it to. Like there's the little laser light hardware targets that are like $200.
Yeah, that
do basically nothing compared to this. Or there's some free apps. There's like iTarget. You've probably heard of that one.
I have.
That does nothing compared to this. And you're talking about a lot more bang for your buck than you can typically get on the market elsewhere in this market range. Put it that way. I'm getting rambly.
No,
Jesus.
It's
edit that out. No.
It's late. Well, I want to talk more about the software, but let's go back just a little bit to kind of the beginning. You're the co-creator. So tell us, where did this come from?
One day I reached deep into the darkness of my butthole, and I it. No.
Wow. I did that, and all I got was Nick.
Episode 300. Title right there.
It was really, necessity breeds invention. And that's back in 2012 when this idea first came to light. I had a CERT AR bolt and a CERT pistol. They were very new at that time, too. They'd only been out for a couple of years at that point. And I was looking at target options, and, Laser Light had their little targets out that were really pricey and didn't do all that much. And then there was, big projector-based systems that run into the thousands of dollars for just software. You're not getting any hardware with that. And I was like, yeah, surely there's something in between here. And I stumbled across a video of somebody using a laser pointer on a wall, a webcam watching a laser pointer on the wall, and it would move the cursor around on the screen. So he was basically the basic proof of concept was right there. I took his code was open source. I took that, and I, not being a developer at all at the time, not even a little bit, somehow managed to make it run. And using a combination of that code and Microsoft Paint, had the first basic prototype. From there, the other creator of Laser, I contacted him, and he is an actual developer and actually made something that could be presented to other people and eventually sold to other people. But necessity breeds invention. I wanted feedback from my own dry fire practice. I wanted to make my own dry fire practice more fun. I wanted to have that coaching features, like a shot timer and telling me which target to shoot. So it's random. So I'm not just, building muscle memory based on super repetitive actions. I have to, shift and adapt in the situation a little bit more. And that's all come to play into the software, and it's just continued to get better and improve from there. So
very cool. So I was in Ohio over the weekend at Jeremy's shooting range, and one of the cool things that Jeremy has at a shooting range is one of the things that you mentioned, and it was Jeremy. What's it called?
Laser shot. Yeah,
the laser shot, and it's like a big system that is completely out of the budget range of me. And
I think their lowest end system is around $6,000. I think.
Yeah, and Jeremy's is worth much more than that with all the software and all the programs that he has. So I mean,
about 30.
Yeah, about $30,000. I didn't know if you wanted me to say that, Jeremy. So
that's fine.
Yeah,
that's great for the commercial environment and big agencies that can afford those things. Ours is meant for you can take this home and use it.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is, Jeremy, how much time do we spend in there over the 4 days that I was there? We were there constantly.
All day.
Yeah, just all day. Every time you'd get bored or whatever, or your arm would stop being tired, you would walk into the room and do that. So when I came back and saw that Aaron had set you up as the guest, it reminded me about the software, and it reminded me, I was like, man, this is I feel like my skill improved kind of as it went. It started off, I was really, really terrible, and Jeremy was really, really good at it. And by the end, I was only kind of terrible, and Jeremy was still really good at it.
Wait, why was Jeremy's arm tired?
You know.
He's got it. I got a question. So is your software scalable to different devices? So say you have one camera going off a computer. Could you add other cameras so you could put those other cameras on different walls, or maybe have moving targets, or the targets that turn and present themselves and then disappear?
If you're talking about moving targets, no. You're going to have to get a projector-based system to do that. We've looked into it. We actually have prototyped things out, and we've come to the conclusion that you very quickly run into that price range where you might as well get a projector-based system anyway.
Yeah,
sure.
It makes a lot of sense.
That being said, it could in theory work, but if you try to do it and it's not working and you call in and ask for help, we're going to tell you, yeah, don't do that. It's not meant to do that. So. It's just people point this at projector screens and get it to work. Sometimes I've done it, but we won't support that. It's not designed to do that at all.
Yeah.
The other thing that you brought up was multiple cameras. Running multiple webcams from a computer inherently, regardless of our software, is not scalable. Mm-hmm. From one computer, multiple cameras starts to bog down that machine really, really quick. The USB bus on the motherboard has a finite amount of throughput that it can manage, sure. And you will run out of that throughput pretty quick. And it turns into a giant bungle. So what we do instead is network multiple devices together. So you probably have a smartphone, you probably have a tablet, and you probably have a computer, right?
Sure, yeah.
You can set up on all three of those and link them together and have turn your house into a shoot house. If you want.
That is
really
awesome.
That's amazing.
That is freaking.
That feature is beta right now. You can get early access to it if you send us an email and request it. Probably be out in about a month to the public. So
that's awesome.
I just want to mention, just in case somebody buys it right now expecting to see that feature, you're going to have to send us an email if you want to participate in the beta test program on that one.
No, that's awesome. So the reason I brought up doing it at Jeremy's is it reminded me that I was like, this is really, really, really useful. And I remember when I used that app, I was shooting USPSA a lot, and it was like kind of the way that I did my dry fire was using your LASR app, and I saw huge improvements, and it was awesome. And then I just got busy and forgot about it. So
life happens.
Yeah. But now we've got this whole studio. We could set up multiple network devices. We've got multiple tablets and phones all over the place that we use for filming videos and things as well. But yeah, that's huge. Nick, next week or the week after, we're setting up a big shoot house here in the studio.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. Have you been shooting your whole life, John?
I was a baby at one point, and I didn't shoot back then, I don't think.
What's wrong with your parents?
I grew up on a ranch, actually, out west in western Nebraska, and was handling guns at a fairly young age, predator control and whatnot. Wasn't shooting competitively or anything. I wasn't good at all by any standards. I was a typical farm kid who had a shotgun and a .22. And then I joined the Army in 2005 and did a couple of tours in countries and got out. And when I got out, like a lot of guys do, you kind of miss certain aspects of it. So I got into competitive shooting, and was taking a lot of classes. I taught a few classes, and I got pretty into it there for a while. I shot PRS, I shot 2-gun, USPSA. I still do shoot some USPSA. One of the things now, though, is that I own my own range. So the motivation to get up at 5 o'clock on a Sunday and drive 2 hours to the local USPSA match, when I can just sleep in and then go shoot on my own range.
Yeah, why?
I don't make it to as many matches as I probably should anymore. But I still shoot pistol quite a bit. I have kind of hung up the PRS hat. It was I just didn't have time, honestly.
It was a phase that you were going through?
Yeah.
It's not a phase, Mom.
$8,000 gun phase.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, I
got an optic and Atlas bipod and chassis system and everything.
It wasn't just the Atlas bipod.
Well, yeah. What is he, a poor?
I think we're supposed to say Churlins now or something like that. I don't know. Not supposed to say pores anymore.
Oh, wait, what? When did this happen?
Do you follow Derp List, the Best of Arms list?
Yes.
He's trying to get people to stop saying pores and say churls or churlins or something like that. I don't know why, but
I must have missed that one.
I literally have a patch called Team Poors.
I do too, because of the high points. So you shot some competition. Do you think that the LASR app has made you a better shooter?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The honest truth is, folks, I go to work every day and I sit here and I use it, but a lot of my using it here at work is why isn't that working correctly? I've got to sit there and debug basically. So a lot of it isn't that great a practice. So I do make it a point to at least once a week, usually at home, not at work. At home, I'll set up and I'll use it very deliberate dry fire practice. And that's kind of a big key that I want to bring up is this isn't magic. This isn't going to make you a better shooter. You can make you a better shooter.
I thought you were a wizard.
No. This is not snake oil. This is a tool that gives you feedback that can help make you better, but it's not going to automatically make you better. Just like buying a shot timer and pushing the button over and over isn't going to automatically make you a better shooter. You still have to look at it.
I want to buy a better golf game.
Okay.
I just want to buy it and be better.
Hey, John.
Okay.
Thanks, Troy.
Yeah, okay, that's great. I mean,
I would also like to buy a better golf game, but it'd be really easy because all I would have to do is buy a single club from my current 0 clubs, and my golf game would instantly improve.
It's all true.
John, does your system will it register laser drag so you know that you're moving too much after you pull the trigger?
Yeah, so you can't see it here, but it actually shows you deviation from basically where you were intending to shoot, where you missed, and then movement during the shot. So,
Dude, that's awesome.
Like I say, you can't really see it here. You can go to our website and catch some videos where it's blown up and bigger, and you can actually see it. But that's in there. We had a lot of people ask, and I know where this comes from, but people ask, is it going to give me specific coaching? Like, oh, you're slapping the trigger, you're pushing left or right. And the answer is no, because we've worked with that quite a bit and worked with systems that do that quite a bit, and found it to, in the end, pretty much always be snake oil. It's a lot of, sometimes it's right, but a lot of times it's not, kind of thing.
Definitely some people want to track progress and things like that. Is there anything in the app at this point that helps with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It saves your history. You can review and graph stuff out. There's a feature in the software called challenges. So one of the things we ran into is a lot of people don't know how to practice. Like they just don't even think – they can't even think of ways to practice. How many times have you practiced shooting from or drawing and shooting from a seated position? I'm sure some of you guys actually have. But average guy at say the NRA annual meeting. Yeah. Never. Most of them never. So we have a feature in the software called Challenges, and there are a bunch of drills like that, just really simple things like, hey, here's a skill set to work on. And not only does it track your history, but it also basically kind of gives you a little bit of a video game. It kind of gives you a very simplified score, a progression, you earn new levels and all that stuff. And it's another thing that just makes your dry fire practice more interesting, more engaging. And especially for those folks that just don't know how to practice, it gives them some guidance on what to do and what they're trying to achieve.
Very cool. So let's talk a little bit. What are some limitations of the system that people complain about or that you recognize?
Limitations that people complain about?
Like, does it have to be? I mean, does the lighting have to be specific? Do you have to have a specific webcam? Like,
no, you can use any hardware. It's completely hardware agnostic. The things that people complain about, I've actually already mentioned. Things like you can't use projectors, you can't use moving targets, and these are things that are very clear and obvious on our website if you actually look at it. Some people don't like the subscription system, but like I say, you don't have to do that. You can buy one time.
Just buy a license.
And for life, that is absolutely fine, and that is always an option. So,
I remembered finally what it was that I stopped using it. Is so we used to record this. I used to record from my house in my office downstairs, and I had everything set up. I had targets on the walls and everything. And then we moved to the studio, and I just totally I didn't move it, but I had a ton of fun with it, and it was definitely super valuable. So I'm really looking forward to the networking beta and just getting it set back up in the studio so we can do it whenever we want.
I remember getting a press copy of it as well back in the day, but I had a Mac, so I was like, oh, well, this is worthless to me. But now that you're saying it goes cross-platforms, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I will mention it's one you purchase one account basically, and you can, if you want to use your phone one day and then the next day use your iPad, you can do that. You're not purchasing for one specific device. So.
Aaron, what happened to your ears?
They're blurred out or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Your ears. You clicked the blur background button, didn't you?
He did.
I did. Doesn't it look sexy?
No, it looks terrible.
It's really tight to the sides of your head.
It looks like your head is getting sucked into like a black hole or something.
Well, this is what it looks like when Sean has a baby. It comes out of his ass.
I don't get it.
I just explained it.
That was dumb. I hated it.
It made me laugh.
I know. That's the problem. Dumb things make you laugh. It's stupid.
You make me laugh all the time.
All right. That'll do. So, John, what kind of what's coming up in the future? Like, do you have big, huge plans that you can share, or is it just kind of continuing to improve iteratively and make it better?
Some stuff I can't talk about because we're in partnerships with other companies and we have signed NDAs. Or
no, it's okay. Whatever you say.
NDAs aren't signed yet, I'm not going to violate that trust. That's some of the stuff that we're working on. The big one is networking. It'll be in beta for a month or two, then it'll get released, and there'll probably still be some more bugs to fix. That is, you think about all the different devices that you got to get communicating together, all the possible issues with latency and everything. There's a lot of stuff to work through there. So,
yeah. What communication protocol does it use? Is it over Bluetooth?
It's HTTPS.
Okay, got it. All right. So, and then does one of them act as a server, and then the rest of them just send data to it?
Nope. Well,
or is it secret sauce?
I'll answer this question, but I'm not really comfortable getting too much more into specifics of how stuff works.
Yeah, no, secret sauce is fine.
Reasons.
Yeah, totally.
Our server acts as a server. So.
Oh, interesting. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. And explain just how this will work. Well, if I have, we'll say, 2 tablets, can I point one at one wall with certain targets and one at the other wall with certain targets, and then set up my challenge or however that works, and it'll be able to call targets on different walls?
Yep. How it'll work, you log in, so you have your phone and your tablet, just for an example. You have your phone and your tablet, you log in on both devices, and then there's a switch called networking. You turn that on, boom, they automatically link together. Don't want them to link together, don't turn the switch on. So, and that's the extent of the setup.
Interesting. Could I do one in different rooms and like run back and forth?
You could do them on different continents if you wanted. So, you'll incur some latency, but you can do it.
I don't think Sean can run that fast.
No, I can't.
But if you had maybe somebody that you were coaching, and on the other side of town or something, and you didn't want to drive there or whatever, you could definitely do that.
Laziest firearms instructor ever.
No, but that's amazing. I'm super, super impressed. I'm looking forward to that. And I've used this software, and I've used this software actually a whole lot. We've talked about it on the show multiple times, but it's been a couple of years. And I've always been really happy with it, man. I'm really glad to see it kind of improving and just like, I don't know, getting stronger. I don't even want to say better because it was pretty great when I used it.
Yeah. Well, we're always striving for improvement. So, and a lot of that's driven by users. Users ask for thing X or thing Y, and we'll deliver that in the best form that we can. So.
Yeah, very cool. Let's see, Aaron, what else you got?
So with this software, you said like anything in regards to that has a camera built in. One of the big issues I have, I have a laptop, so the only camera is facing me.
Yeah.
So how would you recommend something just so get an external camera then?
Yeah, you could use a built-in camera, but on a laptop in particular, you're probably not going to find that very user-friendly. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
very cool.
I'm thinking with all so in our studio, like we always take a bunch of like spare phones to the range as either drone controls or other things. But I mean, we've got like a tablet and 4 phones sitting in that other room. If we were able to just point those cameras at different targets or different target arrays, network them together, and then, I mean, the possibilities are pretty endless. Was this a big feature or was it?
Yeah. So I've mentioned that the laser software's kind of always been designed and built for the at-home user. This is actually kind of our stab into the B2B market. We've always got a lot of questions from like shoot houses and training facilities that want to be able to set it up, and this is basically our answer to that, but with some added benefits. One, it's still going to be accessible to regular at-home users, and 2 is that because we're using multiple devices, that law enforcement team that wants to go do an active shooter drill at their local school, for example, could just take a bunch of devices and set them around, and they don't have to, run cables and do this and that. Everything's, pretty easy and straightforward to set up and use. So,
man, I'm really looking forward to this because I bought a $70 tablet that we use all the time in the studio. I'm going to buy like 5 of them and just we're turning this whole office building into a shooting range.
I will mention that just like any software, our software can only run as good as the device that it's on.
Yep.
If you try to run it on a potato, you're going to get potato results.
I mean, those tablets, they run well. The camera works great. I can watch video. I can stream video. I can use all the apps that I've never really had a problem with them. So I think they might do okay.
I love potatoes.
I do too.
So many possibilities with potatoes, you know?
Exactly. So, real quick, let's talk.
You can get French fried potatoes, sauteed potatoes, tater tots,
vodka.
tater pounds.
Is that Sling Blade? Or
I think it's a mixture of Bubba and Sling Blade.
I know. It's a mixture of Forrest Gump and Sling Blade.
You get Tater Man.
Savage is Sling Gump.
No, it's Bubba.
No, because it was Sling Blade.
Now they've got new titles
Yes, and Bubba.
And Forrest Gump.
No, Bubba from Forrest Gump. The character's name is Bubba.
No one knows who the Bubba is.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Everyone knows who Bubba is.
Come on.
Jenny.
No, that's Forrest.
that was
See? All right, so pricing. You said you could buy the license if you don't like subscriptions for about $120.
Yep, $120.
What are the other options?
You could do monthly for $9 or yearly for $65. So,
Lieutenant Bubba, you got no legs.
I don't know how you're not just rich right now, because I really, this is awesome.
It is, and especially like being able to use it with anything really opens up a lot of possibilities. And while $120 may be a lot of money to spend on an app, I think when you take into consideration that this is specialized software that you can use on everything, that's not a bad price at all for the one-time payment.
No, and so
it is our most popular option, about 10 to 1. So, for obvious reasons. But a decent. We do use the monthly subscriptions are really good for. Instead of handing out brochures, we'll hand out starter cards, which are, we don't like to say the term trial license, but their trial license is basically give you a month free. So we use them a lot for that. But most people do opt for the lifetime. Very
cool, man. Nick, you have any questions that you want to ask him before we get this all set up and we start our own shoot house here?
I feel like it's pretty well covered.
I know. I'm just excited, man.
Me too.
So what is your big hate about the recoil guns?
Oh, yeah.
I see this can of worms over here. Let's open this can of worms.
That's water.
Okay. Most likely everyone listening, everyone watching, and all of you here already have the best recoil training device.
Which is your firearm itself.
Your firearm with some goddamn live ammo. Go to the live range, you lazy no.
Okay, very true.
Kind of serious, though. Dry fire practice is great, and one of the good things about it is it removes that controlled explosion in front of your face, so you can focus on the other fundamentals. As soon as you add that recoil back in, and an inconsistent level of recoil, because it's not going to be the same even shot to shot. I've never seen a device that can do that, from airsoft to anything else. You're going to get an inconsistent level of felt recoil, and you're going to start to ingrain bad habits. I genuinely feel like you're actually probably going to promote recoil anticipation. The big thing, though, is really it's just not worth the money. They're very expensive, not just initially, but ongoing. They will break. You will have to replace parts. You will have to send them in for, even if the warranty service, you're still going to have to cover shipping. You're still got downtime on that hardware. The only time, and I do mean the only time, and this is coming from someone who makes more money if you buy recoil devices, from us anyway. The only time I recommend recoil devices is if you literally never go to the range. So, big long rant.
No, I like it. It definitely makes sense.
I mean, I own a range.
Cool.
Wow. Weird flex, but okay.
Jeremy, tell us about your motorcycle and your leather jacket.
I will actually tell you this. The funny thing is, Jeremy owns a range. Jeremy, you have 10 lanes?
Yeah.
10 lanes, 25 yards, 75 feet. Awesome range, like state-of-the-art, amazing range in Valley City, Ohio. River's Edge Tactical. I just got back from there, and it was awesome. But if you want to find Jeremy during the day, he goes and he works, and then when he gets bored, he literally gets up and goes in and does the simulated training in the other room. And Jeremy, why is that?
It's cheaper. I already paid for the system. I got to pay for it again. Ammo costs money.
Yeah.
Although I do want to say for everybody, Sean did keep his promise of shooting my ceiling.
I did.
Story time.
Yeah.
No, I was shooting a machine gun.
Jeremy's
Sean's
just like
I know. Sean's
fact.
like, I know how to shoot a machine gun.
I
and he
do.
shot my ceiling.
Yeah, it was fun.
what machine gun was it?
The M16A1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That got away from you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to see. I want to see you shoot. Savage, the guy who
We're not all questioning your manhood or anything.
Savage is the guy that had to mount a gun to a fucking tripod and a car. And
Well, he's not going to shoot the ceiling.
recoil.
It was a robot arm, and it's not for recoil issues. It's because I wanted a fucking turret, dude.
Right?
Hey, don't bag on Savage. He made a robot.
He made a
robot?
robot.
With guns. He made a robot.
Have you
that
ever
used
considered
guns.
making robots,
I was
John?
going to ask if it was a sex robot.
Well, yes, it was.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
What does it?
It goes bang.
That's
It
so
will
awesome.
bang you.
Yep,
Oh, that's
but
cool.
all true.
Yeah.
I don't know, Savage. I prefer to finger than robot. Button,
Hey.
button just
Hey.
isn't as fun.
Wow. So
I hope those robots are over it. How old is that robot?
if people want to buy the
It's from the 70s, dude. Shit.
Okay, so it's legal. All right, just making sure.
wow,
I don't want any underage robots here.
I'm all looking on Amazon for tablets that I can buy.
I thought you were going to say for robots.
No, I go to Sexes on Prime for that.
Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
So
Serious Googling.
wait, hold on. Let me register that domain name. John, if people want to buy the software and support it, where can they do all that?
You can buy the software. You can buy all kinds of other stuff like SIRT pistols and stuff as well at lasrapp.com. You can just Google LASR. Will be the first 100 results or so.
Awesome.
There's tons of videos, the reviews on our website, all kinds of good stuff. Like I said, the main software's been out for 7 years. It's a tried and true thing. At this point, I think we're getting close to 20,000 users now. So
Nice.
That, yeah,
I want a SIRT pistol with a trigger pack in it, like a decent trigger.
dude, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I didn't like about Jeremy's guns is the trigger was really hard to pull.
My arms
But
got.
it's like a standard Glock trigger.
It was like a 15-pound trigger.
Yeah,
No, but it's
No,
not
it's a
that
New
high.
York-
Oh,
New
dude,
York
it
Glock
was. It was ridiculously heavy trigger, and like my forearms would burn after like doing a round.
Then you are incredibly weak.
Apparently, I'm incredibly weak, and
Apparently, the diabetes is going to take your fingers.
Well, your fingers are so. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to let that one die. We don't need a gay joke here.
Oh my God! Mark it on the calendar. The first time Aaron let something go.
ever. John, I was looking through the upcoming features list, like Target Down, Save and Review.
not everything's listed there. Some stuff gets held back from getting listed as coming soon. So
Cool, man. But I mean,
the list is perfectly accurate as far as what's currently there. But some of the coming soon stuff, it's more of some of the stuff we don't know how far out it is. So.
yeah, awesome stuff, man. I'm really stoked to get this set back up. I had totally forgotten about it and how cool it was.
So 7 years ago, when this thing started, was it 7 years ago it started?
Yeah.
Did you ever like in your mind ever think like this is where it's going to be, right where you're at right now? I mean, you were with MS Paint and laser pointer software, and here you are, you building some pretty cool shit, and now, like looking back at the person you were back then, could you ever imagine you'd be the person you are now?
No, absolutely not. At the time, I was going to school for criminal justice. I got a degree in that, never finished it, or never worked in that field at all. And now I'm Mr. Computer Man.
You can literally ask anybody that question. Hey, did you think you'd be the person you are today 10 years ago?
Yeah,
No, nobody's going to say yes.
I would say yes. I thought you'd be a piece of
Your
10
only
years ago
plan in
too.
life was
I still love you, Jeremy.
Oh man. I love it.
But yeah, it's been a fun ride overall. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But it's great. You know, I have a job that I genuinely enjoy going to, and got employees that I genuinely mostly don't hate. So, you know, life is good, man.
Would you, when you say don't hate, can you name names?
Nah, I was just around. They're great. If I didn't like them, they wouldn't be here.
Good point. Good point.
So,
all right, cool. LASRapp.com. You want to stick around or you got to run?
I'll stick around for a bit. I'm not promising how late. So.
All right, cool. Can we do 9:07? 9:07. I don't know.
Yeah, we can do 9.
What time is it there? I'm kidding.
It's 9:45 here. You're just confusing me, man.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, where's it 07 at? What country?
I don't know, Aaron.
Yeah, I can get to 9:07. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. But I mean, in Chinese time, I think that's tomorrow. I don't know.
In Chinese time.
Racist on your time.
All right.
I think they probably have a lot of time zones in China.
Whatever.
Sounds like communist propaganda, but okay.
Yep, I
They
agree.
only have one time zone in China.
Now, for our defensive gun use of the week, sponsored by Second Call Defense, offering you complete protection for armed self-defense.
Nick, so speaking of Second Call Defense, the other day you made a post on social media. What was that story? Do you recall?
No.
It was one about what if this guy like woke you up standing over your bed or something like that.
Oh yeah. That wasn't the other day. I mean, it might have posted.
It literally was the other day.
It might have posted the other day.
Yeah, but you did it like weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy broke into somebody's house. I think he went into their kitchen and stripped down, right? And then the homeowner came in and like found him in their kid's room, and he chased him out and shot him.
And you know that like what?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I wouldn't have chased him out. I just shot him right where he stood.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, and that's literally why Second Call Defense exists, is for things like that. Just because
for naked guys in your kitchen.
Absolutely, yeah. If I ever see Nick in my kitchen naked, it's going to be a big thing.
Man, it's a good thing you didn't get out of bed last night.
But I do have Second Call Defense, so it'll be totally fine. No, and
you had to say big thing. It's going to be a big thing.
We're white. We know that's not true. But yeah,
No. Nick's to the point where he's got to do.
Micro.
Wow. Nick, care to respond? Care to respond during the ad read?
Say what's it?
I'll wait until after the ad read.
Wait, what does it do?
It's when your belly sticks out further than your do.
I know. I just wanted everyone else to know. Anyway, Second Call Defense, they exist for armed self-defense if you have to use your firearm. I've been talking to Sean Maloney a lot. We're actually organizing a self-defense seminar here in Colorado Springs very soon. Okay, don't bother muting, Jeremy. It's almost like this is not our 300th episode or anything like that. But yeah, Second Call Defense, if you carry a firearm, if you keep one at your house, whatever it happens to be, definitely look into this. They cover your criminal, civil, everything else. Make sure you have a lawyer so you don't have to worry about that. Make sure you have bail paid. And they do it all up front, day one, $1, so you're never out of pocket on anything. So go to welikeshooting.com/SCD and don't wait till it's too late.
This portion of We Like Shooting has been sponsored by Second Call Defense, the most comprehensive protection for armed self-defense in America. Visit welikeshooting.com/SCD to find out how to get your first month free.
So all I'm saying, I wanted to wait until after the ad read.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I understand.
All I'm saying is, I'm walking around with a Glock 19, and I expected Jeremy to show up with a Glock 34, but it turns out it's just a 17.
Just get out of here. Don't want to hear about it. It's time for giveaways brought to you by Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co. Join the Patch of the Month Club. Coupon code WLS. We have 5 giveaways.
That's a 21.
Do it again. What was it? I missed it.
I said that's a 21, not a 17.
Oh, okay. Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co, coupon code WLS. We got 5 giveaways from Patriot Patch Company, Kana's Tactical Group, Black Rhino Concealment, Stuck Knot Customs, and Blue Alpha Gear. You can enter to win everything at welikeshooting.com/giveaway. Patreons get extra entries. There's so many strange noises
entries
that I don't understand.
Did Savage leave?
What, Jeremy?
Did Savage leave?
No, he's here.
Oh.
He
just moved spots. I feel like this is like the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch.
He just disappeared in my goddamn window, and I was like,
He did. All right, guys, it is time to talk about some gear.
Jeremy doesn't have object permanence, so when Savage left, he was just like, what happened to Savage?
He's like a T-Rex.
Window disappeared, and Aaron moved down in the middle of the Brady Bunch little picture here. I was like, well, apparently Savage just left.
Savage disappeared, guys. He's gone. He doesn't exist.
Jeremy's like a T-Rex. His vision is based on motion.
Well, he smells like a T-Rex, that's
Exactly.
for sure.
Gear Chat is brought to you by Facts and Firearms, and I'm super stoked. I will be talking about this in just a minute, but Facts and Firearms is the main sponsor of the event that I will be at this weekend. I get to shoot the FX-19, the Patriot and the Hellfire. They will both be there, and all kinds of other great Faxon goodness. In fact, Kurt and I from Faxon, we're sharing an Airbnb, and that couldn't happen without all of your support. Go to faxonfirearms.com, coupon code WLS10. Gets you 10% off anything, whether it's the new pistols, the barrels, the muzzle devices, the handguards, the upper and lower
Bolts,
receivers, the bolts.
lightweights.
Yep, everything, all over at Faxon Firearms. So I guess since I already alluded to it a little bit, I'll talk about it. I will be at Kevin Dixie from No Other Choice Firearms Training. I know you know who Kevin Dixie is out there. He's having an event in Ferguson. If the name Ferguson sounds familiar to you, I think, isn't that the place that had like race riots a while back? So, Jeremy, I might get that stateside, bro.
I'll be jealous.
I know. Is that fridge even turned on?
Yeah.
Oh, you plugged it back in. Good.
I did.
Thanks, Nick. Okay, that's cool.
Jesus.
Yeah, so what this event is, basically, it's bringing a bunch of content creators together in one place. Last I heard, there was like 50 content creators. There's going to be a lot of training, so we'll be doing pistol and vehicle interdiction stuff, and for the people who are qualified, we'll be doing night fire and just all kinds of stuff. It's with Kevin Dixie from No Other Choice, and Provectus Group will be the other instructor there. And then there's going to be a lot of little seminars that talk about, PR and content creation and just all kinds of different stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think Kevin's a great guy, has a great message in the industry. And I'm looking forward to going and learning and just taking part in all the classes. 1,500 rounds is what we expect to shoot each.
Ooh.
So you keep saying qualified individuals for the night shoot. Does that disqualify you now, Mr. Roof Shooter?
I mean, I have done a night shoot class, so I think that I'll probably be qualified. I don't know.
As long as they,
Yeah, if it's full, we'll talk later. But yeah,
Well, I mean, like, what qualifies someone to be qualified to shoot at night?
I assume people who have done night shoot training or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't really know exactly what it is, but
You know what's harder than that?
What?
Shooting with a gas mask on.
You know what's harder than that?
I have gas masks, Nick.
Yeah, me too.
Whoa.
Ew, gross, Savage.
Yeah, that was so nasty. So here's a list of some of the seminars: is activism, finding your voice, being an instructor, how to review, public relations, building authority, building relationships, sponsorships, what's your purpose. And then the classes are holster brief, Evolve One pistol training by Ken Scott and Kevin Dixie. Then they're going to do a pig roast. And then after that, we have anti-carjacking and fighting in darkness, and then a bonfire. And then instructor development, collaboration, and media development, and then it concludes. So it's a 3-day event. Should be a ton of fun. And thanks to Kevin Dixie and No Other Choice Firearms Training for putting that together. I tried to get Aaron to go, but he can't. Then I tried to get Nick to go, but he can't. Jeremy doesn't like doing anything. And, Savage can't go anywhere. So
I wish I could go.
You literally never even asked me.
But instead, I'm getting dragged to New York.
Do you want to go to Missouri tomorrow?
No.
Okay, well, you then. Aaron, what is your product tonight?
Oh, before I get into my product tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit about my weekend at Jeremy's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, Sean was there.
How is your hole, by the way?
It's still a little moist.
Jeremy, move your mic down just a little bit so I can hear you screaming profanity better.
I didn't scream profanity. I asked Aaron how his hole was.
Oh, yeah, no, that's different.
Still moist. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So, Sean, you got there on Thursday?
Yeah.
And I came down Friday night.
Yep.
And hung out for a bit. We went to Jeremy's house, ate some phenomenal pizza. But the real story is we stayed a night at a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which so I get up in the morning. We were scared. Well, we got in real late that night, so we didn't want to wake up the owner of and proprietor of the bed and breakfast. Why don't you tell a little bit about that story, Sean?
Well, so when I booked I booked my tickets, and it was supposed to be like a whole weekend, but Aaron couldn't stay as long as I thought, so kind of things got changed up a little bit. But when I asked Jeremy where are the nearby hotels, he laughed at me, and I was like, no, but for real. And then he said, well, there aren't any. They're in Brunswick or Medina. So I kind of looked that up, and then I was like, that's fine. I can just get an Uber or a Lyft or something because I don't want to rent a car. It's a pain in the ass. And we always, drink, and I don't, I just thought it was a bad idea. So I went onto my Uber app, and I put in Jeremy's range, and then I put in a hotel in Brunswick, and I hit find ride. I was like, if it matches me, I'll just cancel it real quick. If I have to pay $5, it's no big deal. But I wanted to see in the middle of the day how long it takes to get there. So I'm waiting, and then it times out, and then I hit retry, and then I'm waiting, and it times out again. So I can't get a Lyft or an Uber in Valley City, Ohio, apparently. It doesn't happen. I was able to get one while I was there, but I didn't want to rely on it. So he's like, there's a bed and breakfast right down the road for me. And by right down the road, he means 30 seconds away. And normally I would say at Jeremy's, but with the wife and baby, I didn't want to, invade their space. So
we don't have a lot.
Yeah, not a lot of room yet. So anyway, I decided to stay at this Airbnb, even though it's more than I pay for like two nights of a hotel normally. And she asks when I book it, I don't give her my credit card number or anything. I just book it and give her my name. And she asks, what time will you be in? And I'm thinking, whatever. I think I land at 4 and I'll be there somewhere, 5 something. I don't know. Just thinking it's like every other hotel. So Thursday night at about 7:30 p.m., she calls me. And I was like, oh, this is the bed and breakfast. So I answer, and I'm like, hello. And she's like, are you here yet? And I was like, yeah, I'm in town. And she's like, oh, when did you want to come by? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Is there a specific time that I need to? And she says, no, not really. I just, it would have been nice if you let me know. I could have gone to dinner with my friends. And so I'm like, wow, I'm the biggest piece of shit on the face of the earth. So I feel bad. So Jeremy takes me over there.
Because how old is she?
89 years old.
Yeah.
So Jeremy takes me over, and I check in, and she's super nice, like super nice. Everyone's grandma, just like the nicest lady on the face of the earth. So I feel bad from the get-go. She says, what time do you want breakfast? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how late I'm going to be up. I don't know what time I'm going to get up. I'm like 8. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like 8:30. And she's like, well, I guess. Yeah, that'll be 9. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. So breakfast is at 9. So I go, Jeremy and I hang out. I get back at like 12:30 and there's a note on the table. And I'm like, okay. So I go up to my room, and it's a cool house. It's super nice. And she's a super sweet lady. The bed was comfortable. The accommodations were great. I had just never stayed at a bed and breakfast before. So I go to sleep. I get up. I go downstairs. She makes me this amazing breakfast. I don't even remember what we had the first day, but, it was fresh fruit and juices and coffee and bacon and eggs and everything you can imagine. So that's basically what it was the whole time. She invites Jeremy over for breakfast like 5 or 6 times. Jeremy declines as is tradition, because but then like Friday, Aaron's like, hey, where am I staying? And I was like, I forgot. So I have to call Alice, and I'm like, Alice, can my friend spend the night? And she's like, that'll be fine. Did you ask Jeremy about breakfast? And I said, yeah, Jeremy can't go to breakfast tomorrow. I'm sorry. And she said, okay, well, what would you like? And we talked. And so that was basically how my weekend went. I had to check in a few times just to make sure that Alice was doing okay, and tell her that Jeremy can't come to breakfast tomorrow, and that my friend wanted to spend the night. And is it okay if I come home late tonight?
So she thinks you're gay, right? Can my friend spend the night?
No, he got his own room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we get there and it's super late, and we kind of like walk quiet. Sean's like, "Be quiet, we don't want to wake up Alice." Like I'm thinking like sneaking into my friend's house, and we're pretty lit. So it's like, oh god,
We were.
And I get in my room.
When you're in high school, drunk as trying to come home quiet.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I'm like watching Sean go up the stairs. I'm listening for the creaks on the steps so I can avoid them later.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, good. And I get in my room. It's a nice room. It's got like a jacuzzi tub in the bathroom off the room. So I lay in the bed and I'm like, man, this is the firmest bed I've ever laid in. And I realize it's one of those number beds.
sleep number.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wonder what number I am, and it turns out I'm a number 45. If anyone's wondering, I'm a 45. It's a little soft, but not too soft. And it's got like a big screen, flat screen in there. I mean, it's like, but my concern was like, there was like 82 plugs going into one outlet, or cords going into one outlet, because she's got all this new stuff in there.
It's fine.
Yeah. And then we go down for breakfast in the morning, and she's like, I'm going to sing prayers now.
Oh,
Jesus.
I forgot about that. She did sing the prayer every morning.
Forget about the singing of the prayers.
And I'm not especially religious, so it was kind of awkward. But so she sang the prayer. God is
good to me.
Yeah.
And the
God
apples
is-
and the seeds. It was like the Johnny Appleseed song.
Yeah, and then she says amen. So I say amen, and then she goes amen, 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 and then so I say amen, and she says amen, 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 and I'm like, tell me when. So the next day when Aaron was there, I knew. So I was waiting, and it was fun. But I will say that the bed and breakfast was awesome. I will absolutely stay there the next time I am in town. She was an amazing host. Everything was great. John, have you ever stayed at a bed and breakfast?
Yep.
Was it okay? How was your experience?
Terrifying. But I won't do it again. I'm not exactly an extrovert, so putting me in a room full of strangers, I'm probably just going to piss them off. So I've generally found that it's best just to avoid those situations.
Yeah,
Well, it's not a hostel.
Yeah, well, it was just weird because, all right, so this is the second time
It'd be hostile if you were there.
And each time you go there, it's just awkward, man. The conversation's just forced, and it's like, thank God there's food. I can put it in my mouth, and I could like pretend like I don't have to talk.
I actually, by the end, I enjoyed it. Like I hugged her when I left. Oh,
right?
But funny story is I was getting ready to leave, and Jeremy was on the way, which only takes like 30 seconds to get there. So I was like, hey, I need to pay you real quick. What works? And she said, do you have cash? And I was like, no. And she's like, oh, okay, I take cards, no problem. And then I said, okay, cool. And she said, I'll charge you this. And then she said something about, yeah, your friend never paid me. And I was like, well, no, I'll pay you. And she's like, oh yeah, I just thought he left without paying. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, oh, Grandma Alice, I'm so sorry that I didn't tell you what was going on. I feel
Grandma Alice, she's like your mom's age.
no, she's my mom's mom's age.
When you slept with her,
That's no.
You said she's 89.
You shut the. Don't you ever disparage Alice.
You said she's 89. She's only 20 years older than you.
Yeah, you wish.
It is, dude. That is. I feel horrible that she thought I just like snaked out on the
Dude,
bill.
I did too. I apologized like 15 times. I was like, no. I'm paying for it. Just put it all in one. And she's like, okay, yeah, I didn't know. But dude, for 89, she is.
Oh, she's sharp, man.
It was a good experience. I had never stayed at a bed and breakfast, but I will always stay at hers.
Yeah. He's literally been in the town since it started.
Yeah.
Craig me up to this table with like all these different porcelain or pictures of cardinals.
Yes.
And I was like, so you like cardinals? She's like, well, I did. And then people just kept buying them for me. I'm like, you told me like money.
Yeah. But yeah, I did the medical class. Aaron hung out with Jeremy. Curtis from VSO Gun Channel was there and took the class. Lots of Patreons were there. Mike came in from Jersey. Pastor Phil was there. A couple people I didn't know. I know I'm forgetting somebody. I'm fucking awful.
You should. You got Mike.
Oh, and Daniel M. Patreon was also there from another part of Ohio. But yeah, it was good. Did you have fun?
From New Jersey?
Mike
from New Jersey.
Yeah, Mike M.
She took a drive.
Yeah. Did you have a fun weekend, Aaron?
I did. I mean, the most important was just hanging out.
No, the thing about Mike living in New Jersey, that spends summers in my hometown with his cousins. They live like 5 minutes away from me.
That is, I guess.
Like, how small world is that?
It is a small world, especially because
that's super messed up.
I had to say,
weird.
I can't believe that.
How dare him?
That's what Savage says every time they drop their pants.
So my product tonight are a set of tactical glasses / goggles from Hackett Equipment, and they sent me 2 pair. They obviously people can't see because we're not recording this, but they're pretty slick looking. They're sporty. I would give them the sports style. What would you guys call it the same way?
Yeah,
Sure.
Like that's about the style that I wear generally.
Like a wraparound.
No, ish,
But
yeah.
They wrap around, but they're not like the old stupid wraparounds.
Yeah, but these are different, though, right?
Did you want to say something, or
I said these are different, right?
Yes. Sorry. Yes, they're different. Well, as you can see, there's padding on the inside. There's padding on the inside, whether you can see it or not. But the padding will come out, and they just basically are like regular sunglasses. So the padding comes out, regular sunglasses. Keep the padding in, and you get a nice tight seal to your face, which is pretty cool. It makes it convenient. They come with a whole bag of different colored lenses for if you're shooting indoor or outdoor. These are all gun-safe glasses, whatever the code is for
Z87.1, but more importantly, they're MIL 31013.
Which is really, and for $25, I thought that was a good deal. Now, what's really cool about these glasses is they convert. So you see these pair of glasses I'm holding in my hand. They have the earpieces here. Well, there's a little latch right here, or a flange if you push it in.
A phalange.
It's flangey. You can actually put in and make them goggle style. So like this pair I have here.
Jeremy, you okay, buddy? Raise your mic just the tiniest bit, please.
Dude, put it down. Pick it up.
I'm sorry. It's either too loud or...
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I know. I'm sorry. It's my fault, not yours.
So they convert to goggles. It has once you pull out the earpieces or the earpieces, you can actually.
It's not even me.
Oh, was it John? Okay. I'm so confused. Aaron, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. They click in, and you now have goggles.
That's actually, I don't know the use case, but I think that's actually kind of cool.
Well, one of the things, and you can make them really snug to your face, which is nice. So they come with, obviously, the goggle strap, the earpieces. They also come with, if you just want to go with the earpieces, they come with little things that you can put against the earpieces that will hold it together as well. I don't know what these are called.
Like around the back of your neck, or back of your head thing.
I call them 1980s gym teacher strap.
They're like the safety
they're
glasses
Velcro.
that NBA players wear.
Yeah.
They're Velcro, so you can change the size that way. What else?
It's a strap-on for your pleasure, is what it is.
Exactly. Yes.
For activities,
lenses, which actually pop out. They're not easily, but they do pop out. And I say not easily in a way that says that's good, because you really don't want them to just be able to pop right out.
Yeah.
A cleaning cloth, an actual baggie for your glasses if you don't want the hard case that it comes in. So you get a lot of stuff for $25, and they sent this to me. I did not buy it. I want to put that out there, but I definitely will use them. I'm kind of excited about it. And I wear glasses, but I also wear contacts on occasion. Contacts are when I'm not shooting a rifle, because for some reason when I try to focus my eyes with contacts in, they pop out of my face.
Interesting. So and they come in 4 colors. Did you mention that?
I did not. I have the black pair and I think OD green. They also come in desert tan and one other color.
Pink.
I don't have it up on my. What's that? Well, pink.
Pink. Yeah. So
yes.
I mean, and $24.99. Damn, I don't. Are they? Do they seem pretty durable?
Yeah, actually they do. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to set up some steel. and I'm going to see how they do well against spalling.
Cool,
Shoot
man.
some shotgun rounds, obviously buckshot and or birdshot, and some regular 223, and just see how well the glass holds up, and see how well these hold up.
All right, cool. Hackett equipment, $24.99. Very cool. I have seen these, and I did not expect to think they were as cool as I do right now.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm seeing you in a couple weeks, right?
Those look like a pair of motorcycle glasses that I have.
They might actually function just as well. I mean, there you go. Why would you have the goggle strap? Because it's hard to put earpieces in when you have a helmet on.
There you go. All right, awesome. What were you you're going to see who in a couple weeks?
You, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do the spalling test while I'm out there. I can bring these with me.
We have steel.
There you go. Boom.
All right, cool, man. Nick, what's your product tonight?
So this is an optic mount put out by Strike Industries. They call it the Scorpion Universal Reflex Sight Mount for the Glock pistol. It's kind of a long name.
No slide cuts.
Yeah, well, that's just the name of the article.
Oh,
No
my
slide.
bad.
So this mounts into the dovetail where your rear sight would go, and you can mount a red dot to it. That stuff is fairly common. You can buy those that style of mount for pretty cheap. What's different about this one is that it's got a whole bunch of holes drilled in it, so you can basically put any little micro reflex red dot on there. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. It also wraps around the backside of the slide, so it's got a little piece that goes in that replaces the rear slide plate, and then it screws in there, which I imagine would probably give it a little extra security. And then it also has a charging handle that it ships with that is ambidextrous. You can put it on either side or not put it on at all.
So it was about a year ago I hosted a night shoot, and somebody showed up with a Glock with an adapter plate like this, not this one. Mm-hmm. And, man, that thing fell off on, his second run.
Nice.
So that's why this one's kind of interesting because it looks a lot more secure with how it integrates with the back plate there.
Yeah, I agree. It keeps it from sliding laterally both directions by screwing it into the back plate.
Yeah, so the price on this is $55.
Oh,
so pretty cheap. Strike Industries has done some kind of cheap, sketchy stuff. They've done some kind of interesting, creative stuff too, though. While this is probably not a product that is for me, I do think it's an interesting concept. It's especially interesting if you don't have an MOS Glock and you're going to get your slide cut, but you're not sure what red dot you want to go with, or you're not sure if you even like red dots. This would be a really good way to not be committed to any one particular optic. So, yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to try a bunch of stuff out before you commit to one and have your slide cut, this would be a good way to do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in.
I'd be interested in it. Strike, send me free stuff.
Yeah, Strike's putting out some cool stuff. Even today, they released a video on YouTube showing an ambidextrous replacement magazine catch for an AR-15. So it'll have the standard button on this side, and then they have another button on the side where the mag catch actually goes.
Aaron, you should get them on the show.
They do cool.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I'll work on that for sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, because I actually use some Strike stuff. Excuse me. And with this one,
thank you for coughing on me.
You're welcome.
I mean, you could turn to the left, Sean, and no one's there.
Well,
or
if I
to the right,
if I turn to the right, I avoid the microphone. If I turn to the left, halfway through, I cough directly into the microphone.
Or you could just raise a hand or arm.
I've got a pen in one hand and the mouse in the other, so I'm controlling things. I'm being active. John, what's the newest gear, gun, whatever that you've gotten that you're excited about?
Oh, man, that's not going to be – I actually am kind of lame in that I don't usually buy a lot of guns or gear because I find one thing that I like and I'll just kind of stick with it. Almost boomerish.
Oh,
but not quite that bad. As stupid as it is, I recently switched back from carrying a Glock 19 all the time, and now I'm carrying a Glock 26 again. I didn't even buy a new gun. I just took one out of the safe and replaced it. That's about the most interesting thing I'm doing lately. I am in the market currently for a 9mm carbine before you make fun of me, realize that I have a reason for needing a truck gun, and that is predator control for livestock. And 9mm would be ideal because the ricochet risk is relatively low. If I did miss or it overpenetrated and went and bounced off, a very light slope on the other side, that round's not going to have much energy and it's not going to go very far.
Yeah.
Again, a semi-populated area, at least by the standards of Nebraska, anyway.
Yeah. Are you looking to just kind of a sim build one or buy one off the shelf or what?
I'm kind of looking at a bunch of different options. I know I want it to have last round hold open. I know I want it to be a SBR,
a pistol.
What did I say? A brace pistol.
Yes.
And I've been looking at folding options. It's a lot of. I only want to buy once, so I'm doing a lot of research beforehand. Right now, I'm my truck gun is a 22 Lee Enfield training rifle from 1942.
Nice.
I like
So,
that.
That's awesome.
I keep it in a nice case. It's a really nice gun. I love the thing, but I'm always worried I'm going to tear it up or something. So
Yeah.
What you need is a Savage Model 99 and 300 Savage.
Well,
maybe just an anti-tank rifle. I mean,
yeah, 40 Mike. Would you say you've narrowed it down to like a couple different options, or are you still just early on?
still searching around. I've only seriously been investigating this since like the NRA annual meeting this year. I kind of used it as an opportunity to kind of jumpstart, and I got a few cards, a few companies I'm looking at. So
cool, man. Yeah, Ankstad Arms. I mean, they're always mentioned in 9mm PCC stuff. That we've got one of theirs that's pretty dang good that we like. And what other guy would you guys recommend for 9mm?
MP5.
An MP. There you go. MP5 SK, because clearly your budget is super high, right?
Dude, roll your own, man. You can customize it up to yin yang.
yeah, it's probably what I'll end up doing. But there's also life gets in the way.
Right.
Work and kids and employees, which are basically like adult kids.
Yes. Oh man, I love it. Savage, what did you want to talk about tonight?
Well, you guys have been working your butts off, Aaron and yourself, and been designing some super sweet patches, and you sent us all out some. The first one that we have here is the WLS flame patch, which I thought was really cool. It's got this little flame with a WLS logo in the middle. And then we have the two...
Hold on one sec. You're not going to mention the Seeker one, are you?
Oh, well, should I or should I not mention
you can talk about it in generalities, but no details.
I will just talk about that in generalities. Okay. That's why I'm starting with these ones. But the flame one is super cool. I think that's a really cool logo. Whoever did that did an awesome job. And then obviously we have the We Like Shooting, show text logo with the pistol off there on the side, both in white and murdered out black. The secret patch.
You could show it since we're not recording video.
Yeah, this is just a piece of design genius. Like if you were to design the most metal-looking logo that looks like you're part of a cult now,
yes,
this would be the patch that you would wear.
Well, you can show it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at it. I mean, there's a lot of really interesting symbology here, like a lot of I call them classically, awesome characters that
symbolism.
Yes, symbology.
Symbolism.
Symbolisms. But yeah, just the way you guys put this together, just the way it's laid out is just so freaking cool. I've been wearing it on my head. I'm not going to take it off. That's all there is to it.
Cool. And that one is actually for the new Patreon relaunch that we're getting ready to do. So if you want to be part of that, check us out, welikeshooting.com/pledge.
Yes, definitely get it. You want this patch. I am so glad I got this patch.
It is pretty cool. Good job, Aaron.
Thanks. Thumbs up from Aaron. All right.
Yeah, thanks. No, I appreciate it. It was, it wasn't just me though. It was there was a group effort here.
Well, whenever Aaron and I do a patch,
Aaron had a diabetic needle.
What?
No, he's looking at a slide plate I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was trying to draw insulin.
Can we just watch this?
Draw it out of what?
Let's just see what happens here.
So that patch, actually, I was like, Aaron, I've got this idea. And he sent me one. I was like, I hate it. Let's do more. As everything goes. And then we go back and forth like 450 times. And Aaron puts up with my and it turns out into something really cool.
It worked out really well.
Yeah.
Is that like a picture of a cat's on a patch?
Yes.
No, that
Damn
was
it,
a
Jeremy.
Sean hated that patch from the start. Let's be honest.
I did.
How many of those patches do you still have?
None.
Zero.
We gave
They're
them
all
all
gone.
away. Yeah, we gave them all away. But I will say that.
Bought the hell out of them.
I bought a lot of them.
Yeah, Nick bought. How many did you buy? Like 15?
Like 10.
So those patches are actually available on the website. And if you use code sticker pack, you'll get a free sticker pack until I delete it. So it'll probably be a few days. And if you use code target poster, you'll get a free WLS target that you can shoot all of us in the face.
Yeah. And a little shout out to listener Ron C. When I was last out there in Colorado and got a chance to meet everybody, he gifted me a pack of his own hand-loaded, so I'm probably going to have to be careful. But these actually look really well done. Hand-loaded 7.62 by 39 brass case rounds. These look awesome. They've got a ballistic tip on them. They're 123 grains. He's actually gone through the detail of putting all the information of the load, the exact load, and how he put it together here on the case. So I thought that was pretty cool. Very responsible reloader there. So thanks a lot, Ron C. I can't wait to try these out.
Yeah, and the thing about that is he handed them to you when we were all at the studio getting drunk.
Yeah.
And they got stuck like in a drawer, I think. And so I was cleaning out the video studio, and I was like, what the f*** are these? So I hit up all you guys, and you were like, oh, yeah, those are mine. So, yeah, I sent them. And clearly, I sent them correctly with ORMD stickers and postage and everything. Right, Savage?
Yes, everything was very safely packaged. Like I had to unwrap a ton of bubble wrap.
Okay, that's just because I'm a All right, I think, Jeremy, you got anything to talk about?
Spit.
I do.
Yeah, they never shot.
Say again?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, my gun you never shot.
Which one?
The Spencer.
Oh, yeah, tell us about that.
I've already talked about it on the show.
Oh, yeah, the Spencer carbine. We were supposed to bring it that last day, and we totally spaced it.
Yeah, we forgot.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
but I did get to shoot his 1911 rifle.
That's true. You got to shoot the 1911 carbine.
Was it as dumb as it
thing
seems?
is stupid awesome.
Dude, it was so f***ing cool.
How accurate was it?
I don't care. I don't even know. I'm not even sure I shot it at a target. I shot it straight at the roof. Oh God, it was so amazing. Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
There's your truck gun.
Yeah,
Yeah. Seriously.
it's a 1911 with what is that? A 16-inch barrel?
16-inch barrel and a removable shoulder stock.
Yeah, that there you go. It's your truck gun. Also won 2 world wars. So we're good to go there. All right.
Which ones?
The first and third.
It won World War III. All right, guys.
I can't wait.
Let's move into the next segment. Aaron.
What you gonna do now? Talk about lifestyles. Hey, Aaron, what you gonna do now? Talk about lifestyles. Brought to you by Brownells.
All right. So Brownells, another great sponsor, just got invited back to the next social summit, which is going to be a lot of fun. Always a great bunch of people there. But Brownells, just an awesome company. We work with them a lot. Aaron, we need to make a pilgrimage to the Brownells shop in Iowa.
I would love that.
Yeah,
It's like Mecca for us, I think.
It is. It is pretty awesome. We had listener Josh there over the weekend buying some stuff. He was looking at a lot of stuff, and I don't know what he actually ended up walking away with. I tried to get someone to come down and accuse him of shoplifting, but no one was actually in the office that day.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been amazing. So anyway, Brownells, Nick, Do you cruise the sales like I do?
I do pretty frequently.
And see anything cool lately?
Oh man, I mean, there's always something cool. I don't think it's on sale right now, but the Glock 34 slides are finally available, and I'm pretty stoked about that.
Wait, they're available?
Yeah.
Or not just for pre-order?
No, they're available.
What? I already have a Glock 34 barrel.
Right on. Well, hey, you're part way there.
Yeah.
You're living on a prayer.
I wish it was. I wish I could find my 10mm barrel.
What?
Oh yeah, I will do that. I have not done that yet. I need to do that.
I'm curious.
You know, the weird thing about what's going on right now is that my E key no longer works, so I can't search for anything that I'm trying to on Brad Ellis.
You know what you need to do is find an E somewhere else and copy and then paste it whenever you need to do it.
Holy that's actually a really good idea.
It'd be awesome if it was his V key, so he couldn't go Control V to paste.
Right, I can though. All right, so let me
copy and paste.
I need a bigger Sonic cleaner because Jeremy has one and I'm jealous. So I'm going to type Sonic CL and then I'm going to paste EANER. Oh, wait,
You still messed it
I
up.
know. Sonic
No,
CL.
just click down there.
Where?
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah.
It helped me. So I'm looking. So I need one of the big ones. Jeremy, what's the one you have?
Mine's the Hornady.
All right, cool. Here we go. Hot tub Sonic cleaner. That's the wider one, right?
Not hot tub, Hornady.
Dude, it says Hornady hot tub Sonic cleaner.
Who's on first?
Oh wow, this one's actually big enough for an entire rifle. I'm gonna add that to my cart. Oh god, this is discontinued.
Mine will do a 16-inch carbine upper.
Yeah, that's what this one will do too. It says discontinued.
Only one left.
Yeah.
You better get it.
I'll call him, tell him, hold it for me.
Wait, Lyman has a turbo Sonic cleaner. So anyway, we've been really into Sonic cleaning ever since I saw Jeremy's, and he just like dropped guns in there basically. So I definitely need a good one.
What
and,
did I clean?
You cleaned that dude's guns, and you were just like, yeah, I'll just drop it in. It was a Mark 1.
Oh yeah, it was my buddy Eric. Yeah. He had a Mark 1, and he's like, how much you charge me to clean this? I'm like, $50. And he's like, you.
He actually did.
I'm like, I'll go drop in the Sonic cleaner. Yeah. And he flipped me off. I'm like, I'll go drop in the Sonic cleaner for $20. And he's like, that, I'll do it. And I'm like, just give me the gun, Eric.
It was fun. Anyway, so you can find all that kind of stuff, guns, everything else that you need, all at brownells.com. Aaron, what'd you have for us tonight?
Well, this is totally on the line of Brownells. A lot of times when you're building a gun or building a gun or need a part, you don't know what it's called. There's those random parts that are goobers or doohickeys or whatever you want to call them, and you can't remember the name of it. Well, on the Brownells website, they have this little section called schematics, and you click there, and you can find the gun that you're looking for, and it actually has labeled parts.
Holy
you want to figure whether you want to figure out how to build something, how to reassemble something that you took apart, or figure out what part you need, you can just check out the schematics on the Brownells website.
Holy actually, Aaron, you just impressed me for the first time ever.
Done and done.
Yeah.
Now it's all done.
Exploded views are nice.
Yeah, but here's the cool thing is when you click on an actual part, it shows you that part on their website, and you can just click add to cart.
Yep.
And Aaron, there's a technical term for those parts.
Are they called parts?
They're called boingy dammits.
Oh, I thought they were
those are the ones that
thingamabobs.
always shoot away, right? And we always have a hard time finding.
Yeah.
John, you care to weigh in on this?
The one thing I appreciate about what Jeremy sells in his shop is called an oops kit.
Yeah.
It's like a box full of springs and pins and everything you need because you're always losing them. Oops.
Dude, this is cool as shit.
I think they're DPMS and CMMG both sell one, and one of them calls it the oops kit, and the other one calls it the most wanted parts kit.
Both make
and they're both hilarious. Yeah.
So, for example,
I want somebody to come out with it and call it the boingy damn it kit.
Well, you can.
So, if you want like a slide stop assembly for
AR part.
Oh, sorry, Jeremy.
Oh, Savage was like, I want you could do it, and I was like, I don't make AR parts, I just sell them.
Right. If you want like a 2.0 slide stop assembly for an M&P, you can find that $19.59 right on the website. Anyway, yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty valuable. Did you know about this, Nick?
I did.
Wow.
But Nick's a gunsmith, and he probably uses it more often than someone like you or I. So, but now everyone knows about it. It's no longer a secret, and also you could use the Edge program to get those parts like in days versus having to wait a while.
Is that where I go almost to O, but not quite?
Oh, I don't know. What
too
you mean.
much.
You should get this. You should get this Lyman Turbo Sonic Cleaner for like $1,200.
It's on sale. It's in the sale section.
I saw that. I was like,
that's the one that I originally wanted, but it's way too expensive.
Yeah.
But that thing would be so awesome to have.
it really, really would. All right, cool, man. It is time to move into some news. And this is brought to you by nobody because Savage sucks.
Pretty much.
No, I'm just kidding. We're actually going to replace this advertiser very, very, very soon. We moved Faxon up to Gear Chat, and I think we're going to move Second Call Defense to Going Ballistic because that's when we talk about the stories, and then we're going to fill the spot up at the very beginning of the show with a company that we love. We're just trying to find the right company. So, Savage, take it away, buddy, and let's talk some news.
Well, quite a bit is going on in this last week, or has gone this last week, internationally specifically. So Switzerland. Switzerland is an interesting cat when it comes to Europe because they're literally their own country. They're not part of the European Union. However, they do belong to this thing called the Schengen Dublin Agreement, which is a trade treaty of sorts. Basically allows people to go back and forth without having to do a whole bunch of stops and checking for paperwork and paying fees and whatnot. Also has to do with money and different kinds of economic trade. So basically what happened is the EU doesn't like the fact that Switzerland likes guns, and they are of the thought, the EU, that basically if Switzerland is allowed to have guns, then terrorists will use guns in the rest of Europe, even though not a single terrorist has acquired firearms from Switzerland and shot up anywhere else in Europe. But that's their fear. So they said that if you do not agree to the Schengen Agreement, then you will be excluded from it, and so you will be all your rights and privileges to trade and free passage will be revoked. So the Swiss held a vote, and unfortunately, more than 63% of the Swiss voters voted to accept the EU's gun control proposals. And basically what that amounts to is an all-out assault weapons ban. Basically any rifle or maybe even pistol that is semi-automatic magazine fed is now classified basically what would be considered an NFA item. All current firearms are grandfathered in. However, the gun owners have to register their weapons that are not already registered within 3 years and, obviously keep that registry accurate. My guess is that is not going to happen. The great thing is that there never really has been an effective or accurate registry in Switzerland. I don't think this is going to make any kind of changes to that. So people are probably going to keep their guns as they are and not tell anybody about them. But, I mean, this is basically, confiscation over time, what I call it, in that, as when anybody dies, they won't be able to transfer it to anybody unless they get the special NFA equivalent stamp in their country. And so the government's going to end up confiscating those guns over time, and basically Europe will have won over Switzerland without having fired a shot.
Wow. Yeah, kind of interesting, man. I don't know. It's you think they're just trying to, pressure the United States with their laws or what?
No, I think it was just, Switzerland has literally been like its own country, completely independent from anything else in Europe since like forever, like even through the two world wars. And this is kind of like the end of that era. This is, them saying that you're basically part of the EU, though you're not technically, but you're having to adopt their laws, so you're basically, it's giving into that massive bureaucracy. In return, you're not really getting anything back. I mean, they were threatened with all this economic, basically sanctions. But I don't think there was any way the EU was going to follow through with that. I mean, there was no threat from Switzerland and their firearms whatsoever. But the EU was raging about all these illegal guns that came from everywhere else. And so they were trying to punish Switzerland because they're the only free country left there, or at least they were.
Yeah, and they've got like a huge, gun culture. They have mandatory military service. Those people are allowed to take firearms to their homes with them when they leave.
Mostly mandatory.
It's a f***ing globalists and the goddamn commies.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's interesting. And to threaten them with
absolutely
all kinds of different sanctions and things like that. Aaron, what do you think?
It's their country, man. If they choose to do stupid things like this, then do stupid things like this.
Spoken like a true communist.
Hey, man, it's not my country. It's just, if this was my backyard, I'd be pissed.
Well, the thing is that in Switzerland, there's not specific constitutional protections around firearms.
Free speech or any of that.
Yeah. So they can literally write a law just like New Zealand did, a month ago, and then boom, all the rights go away. And it's scary, and that's why it's really important that we have a constitution so we can stop like that from happening.
Well, and this is a great reason for Trump to sign this stuff taking us out of the UN weapons treaty, specifically stuff like this.
I mean, he took us out of a treaty we were never signed on to, like, well, who is it, Kerry or somebody signed it? No, it was never ratified, and it wasn't going to do anything.
Good.
Yeah, it was like a non-issue. It was like, look at all this stuff I did. Absolutely nothing, but I did it.
Is this Perfect. What we'd call virtue signaling?
Yes,
Maybe.
That is exactly what virtue signaling is.
Next story.
So, Illinois, oh my God, bend over and take it up the a-hole. They're getting Senate Bill 1966, and this one is really just killing the poors. I mean, honestly, it's a organization of the FOID system, and what it amounts to is criminalizing private transfers, being punished by up to a Class 4 felony. Family members that have an FOID card have to call the state police within 60 days to run a background check on themselves just to transfer a firearm between the family. Everybody has to submit fingerprints, including for renewals. They're increasing the prices of everything to like $200. I mean, it's just like they're trying to do everything they can to completely discourage anybody from acquiring this permit, this FOID permit system, so that they can own firearms. I mean, it's so blatantly unconstitutional and it's just enraging. It's stuff like this, just like New York, that takes stuff to the Supreme Court, and now that we do seem to have a majority of the Supreme Court that's interested in taking on firearms case and hopefully overturning them, I'm actually, if this thing passes, I think that would be f***ing great, because that would pretty much give the Supreme Court a reason to invalidate any kind of state permitting system.
I mean, it's a Jim Crow law, period. You want to disallow the poor from owning firearms, and
it's class warfare, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm against it. I want everyone to own firearms. I want them to defend their abortions with AR-15s while they smoke weed, like whatever.
Yeah. Moving not too far away over to Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is a interesting situation because what am I losing my freaking mind here? Pennsylvania, that's where Pittsburgh is, right?
Yes.
I lose my mind here.
Wow.
Pennsylvania has preemption. And what Pittsburgh did, the city council, what they did was they enacted an assault weapons ban, magazine capacity limits, and red flag confiscation laws, like in one foul swoop. They passed it, without any kind of consideration or debate. They just were, tired because of the shooting that happened there not too long ago. So they just decided they were going to pass this gun control law, and it didn't. They wanted to specifically do this because they wanted to fight the preemption. and they're coming out here and they're saying things like, the city isn't looking to prejudice or prosecute anyone under the new restrictions, because once that happens, citizens can swear out a complaint against the mayor and city council members for violating state law, and that might unduly inconvenience elected officials. So they're like making these laws that will specifically target just about everybody there, because it's invalidating the preemption, but they're saying they're not going to prosecute anybody. This is the same kind of that New York did, where they passed these rules that aren't actually laws, and then they'll be able to arrest people, but as soon as it goes to court, they'll remove the rule, and they say, oh, well, we weren't going to prosecute you anyway. It's just a way to with people and to with the law and with the people's rights,
Yeah, I'm glad that the judge issued a stay, because the things they were trying to put into place were crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, John, you don't live in Pennsylvania, but what do you think about some of Pennsylvania is generally, we have the Great American Outdoor Show. Everyone there wears camouflage. Like, PA's been pretty gun friendly over the years. What do you think of them trying to make it anti-gun?
Well, it sounds like it's mostly one city. And pretty much every state has that one city where people of a certain political persuasion tend to reside. And you do see an exodus. I don't know if you keep up with the news at all, but there's an exodus of people from the coasts. People are actually moving inland from the coasts, from California and New York. Even Florida is losing population. And those same people are fleeing certain policies enacted by certain people of political persuasions in those areas, but for some reason they come to their new area and vote the same way. And I think my guess would be is that this is a symptom of that. I haven't seen specific demographics on Pittsburgh, right? Yeah, mm-hmm. Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. But I would be willing to bet that a lot of it's partially motivated by that. The other big thing is I always want to point out to people that we're a long ways from people busting down your door in the middle of the night. So if you're preparing for the boogaloo right now, you're a little bit early. What you need to be looking out for is stuff like this. Backdoor legislation that's not passed properly, that's not doesn't go through the proper sequence of checks and balances demanded by federal or state constitutions.
Nice. So I got to say, man, you're up to date on all the memes and all that. Are you a Russian bot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm definitely a Russian bot. No, I hate the government, but that's just.
Hey, did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I hate all governments, and I really hate people who want to make the government bigger.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Savage.
Whoa.
I'm for the appropriate amount of government needed to accomplish what they need to do. That's it.
Red lines.
No more, no less.
Savage
Maybe
is
less.
a commie. Savage is a commie.
Jeremy, you're finally muted.
I muted him, and then it turns out it wasn't him, so it's my bad. And I can't unmute him, so I don't know. I tried.
He left.
No, he's there. I tried. I see him moving. What's the next story, Savage?
Next story is a little bit of unfortunate personal experience.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now. So I was going for a walk the other day during my lunch break, and I walk this path every once in a while, and I was going under a bridge in this very public park, and I happened upon this piece of graffiti that really set me off. So I've got the link in the show notes as to a Facebook post that I made, also Instagram, and it's some Nazi graffiti. So they made, the swastika, the SS. They suck at writing, so they said "Why Gover?" I can only assume that means white power. And then the other symbolism there was the 1488, which the 14 representing the 14 words of "We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children," and the 88 referring to 88 words from Hitler's Mein Kampf. And this kind of really pisses me off because this kind of stuff has been growing a lot, all over the U.S. recently, but specifically.
No, it's not.
It is.
No,
it is.
not. It's not
literally,
growing.
you can
It's
go on to
literally
the FBI website has showed a significant 17% or more increase in hate crimes and acts like this, and
Hate
this is
crimes
something
dumb.
and stuff like this that I've personally witnessed. When I was first going to college, I distinctly remember getting lots of these leaflets being put in my car window. This kind of white nationalist propaganda that were from the next state over, driving down the main roads, waving lots of flags saying "Go home," N-words, and and I was there to see that kind of happen. My own sister has been yelled at, and because she's Korean and people were throwing racist slurs at her, and I'm married to somebody who's a person of color, and I have a mixed race kid. So seeing like this really pisses me off because I don't want this in my community, and it, like I say in my post, it solidifies my belief that not only me, as a father and a husband, a person of color, but anybody who would be affected by these kind of who would try and not this is just graffiti, so it could be just some 14-year-old kids trying to be edgelords, but we had an actual bomb that somebody put off here during this Martin Luther King Day parade, and he was a white nationalist. So the threats are really there, and people of color are under threat from this kind of stuff. So it solidifies in my mind the need for me to carry, and for it should be solidifying in other people's mind that look, these people are out there and they could have intentions to hurt you. So you need to be prepared to fight back. Jeremy, counterpoint.
Anecdotal at best and blown out of proportion. The only reason that hate crimes are so-called on the rise is because they've redefined what a hate crime is, and the bar is much lower.
Aaron?
I had an interesting story today I was telling you about earlier. I don't know if it was racially motivated or, but my son, who's 5, there's a girl in his class that gave her her phone number to him, and he was all excited. He's like, I really want to call her, just to and he called her, and they talked on the phone. It was ridiculously cute, because they didn't really have anything to say. They were just chatting it up, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I like shit. Peanut butter.
Right? Like stupid things 5-year-olds say. Then there was a concert at the school today, and the girl's dad comes up to me. He's like, I don't think your kid should be calling my kid. And I'm like, okay, like what? It wasn't. It's like, what do you think's going to happen when a 5-year-old calls a 5-year-old? You think, you want to see my pink taco? It's like, like right, exactly. It's not going to happen. It's like, oh, I'm going to send you some dick pics. But he's 5. It's not going to be that impressive. So it's like, I think the way I felt, it didn't feel like a normal conversation. I think it may have had to do with maybe because I'm Jewish. I don't know.
That's what I said.
It's not like. Sorry, I was just going to say, it's not like there's been a major mosque and or synagogue shooting lately that would indicate a rise in actual hate crimes where people are specifically targeting people of color.
That's a lot of hemming and hawing there, dude.
Jeremy,
churches get shot up all the time. What?
There's actually a lot of black churches in the South that have gotten burned down. Now that you mention it,
a lot of white churches get shot up.
Yeah,
in Texas.
which ones?
A lot of places.
There's the one in Texas. The one. You got one, buddy.
That's one I can think of off the top of my head. Google church shootings. It's not always racist.
Yeah, always racist.
But it's like saying, like, not all terrorist acts, or not all Arabic people are terrorists, but a lot of the terrorist acts are perpetrated by. And see, that's a racist
not how it goes.
Right there,
that's
right?
not how it goes.
But you know what I'm saying, right? People assume, they make these judgments, and I Savage, I hear you, and in Europe it's huge. There's a lot more white supremacist actions going on in Europe. It's really becoming an issue, and I'm sure that bleeds over here as well.
You see this classically throughout history. This is not unprecedented. We don't live in special times. You look at post-World War I Europe after the Treaty of Versailles and this massive reorganization of Europe that drove all of these Jewish people eastward to Poland and Russia. The few that did stay were the wealthiest ones in Germany, and it started creating these racial divides. You see, and when you see this mass exodus because of the Arab Spring of people of color to Europe, you're going to see pushback from the other side. And it does, one little thing, not little thing, it's not little when a terrorist attack happens, no matter the scale of it, but one thing happens and it turns into, all these brown people are trying to kill us. Well, a lot of people tend to forget we've been trying to kill them for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
For the Sykes-Picot Agreement, if you want to go back that far, further than that.
And you bring up a really good point, because at the end of those cycles, there was a giant war that happened.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to get at, but I didn't want to go that far. But you look at that racial tension, and it's just like, you see this rise in the popularity of socialism and communism on one side, and the counterpoint to it, fascism, rising on the other side, although fascism is really closer to National Socialism in most cases, but
right. And that actually really goes into the other link that I have in here. It flows into it just great as a segue, because there's this podcast called It Could Happen Here. And while the guy definitely leans over to the left side a little bit, he is dead accurate in his assessment on how a civil war in America could kick off and what would happen. It was like everything that we've talked about before, this guy has pretty much covered and then some, because he pulls a lot of parallels from things that have happened in Europe and the Middle East during similar kinds of situations. So if anybody's listening, I got the link in the show notes. Definitely give that podcast a listen to. It's really worth it.
Nick, welcome to the Boogaloo.
Yeah, it's a Boogaloo, and it's not fun. It is the most ugly thing you could ever imagine, and you don't want it to happen.
Do I get to shoot?
Do you get to shoot commies? Maybe.
Because of the answer, do I get to shoot? Do I get to shoot commies? Because if I get to shoot commies, I'm all for it.
All right, Nick. Anything to add here?
No.
Okay, I'm pretty much with Jeremy.
I had to think real hard about that one.
Savage, next story.
Ooh, this is like a roller coaster ride. So bad news, and now back to good news. So Washington State, as everybody knows, I'd been about for almost an entire year about I-1639, the new initiative that basically turned every semi-automatic rifle into an assault rifle. And I you not, they redefined every single semi-automatic rifle, regardless of capacity, into an assault rifle. So fortunately, we have the Second Amendment Foundation in this state. They are kicking ass, and recently Alan Gottlieb won a court decision here. So U.S. District Court judge in Tacoma denied a motion by defendants, which would be the state of Washington, to dismiss a federal lawsuit challenging Washington State's gun control initiative of 1639, ruling that law-abiding gun owners and firearms retailers do not have to violate the law and risk punishment in order to challenge infringements of the Second Amendment. So what has previously happened here in Washington State, probably other states around the country as well, is that laws will get passed, and then Second Amendment foundations equivalent will try and block those. But the judges will say, well, nobody's been arrested, so nobody's being harmed. You can't prove a harm, so we just have to let this law go until somebody gets harmed. Well, fortunately, a district judge finally saw through the bush and said, hey, if you're writing a law and that law is going to infringe on people's rights, that is the harm. So the judge denied the dismissal, so that's going to allow the lawsuits to go forward that could potentially knock down some, if not all, of this 1639 initiative in Washington State.
I mean, it's definitely good news whenever we see court cases start to go our way. I think it's a good thing. You mentioned Alan Gottlieb, but you said his name weird, which I think after our last story is basically a hate crime, and now you are a Nazi.
Okay, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what she said.
Hey-o.
No, it's good. It's good. And Second Amendment Foundation, Alan Gottlieb, he takes in a salary of like $80,000, so take that, Wayne LaPierre.
Yeah, no.
All right, good stuff. That'll do it for the stories tonight. It is time to talk about some reviews. Washington, not bad news for once. I don't even know what to expect.
I know, right?
Jeremy.
It's positively Derek. Positively POZ Derek.
All right, and if you want to do some distance learning of firearms technology and guns and stuff, check out sdi.edu. Jeremy, take it away, buddy.
I Love Guns by Jay Henna. 5 stars. I love it. You guys are weird. Now I don't know if I ever built my own rifle or assembled it or assembled. Well, on the plus side, I mean, you guys, if you were my models, you would be on the plus side of size. Well, keep it up. Love the show.
Okay, that's mean, but also true. Now the question is who is the fattest on We Like Shooting?
I'll take that hit.
All right, that's fair enough.
That's really nice of you.
That is really nice of you.
Yeah, that way we don't have to argue about it and point fingers at each other. I'll just say I'm the fattest.
Wow. All right, even though we clearly know Nick is.
It's not fair. That's not fair.
No, he's just fluffy. He's just fluffy. It's fine.
Dude, I bet if we boiled him down, his bones would be huge.
Yeah. Okay, Jeremy, next review.
Dab by F Goals. 5 stars. Ever listening to your show forever, I can't stop saying things like basically nice dang by Curious in response to Curious, sweet, sweet butt. And whenever I hear someone say on the radio, thanks for listening, in my head I say, and shoot straight.
Nice. I like it. But the bi curious thing, and can we stop saying sweet, sweet butt? That's it's annoying.
But you just said it.
I mean,
yeah. So, and we're talking about you. And I don't think talking about you is annoying at all. I enjoy talking about you.
Shut up, Aaron.
Let's talk about
sweet, sweet butt.
Next review.
Fighting the Good Fight by R. Pruitt, I'm assuming.
Sure.
5 stars. Conflict, knife hand, scream, jab, right uppercut, knife hand, backhand, tickle, giggle, fall, down laughing.
That is the best review I have ever read.
I'm like, so many knife hands. I'm kind of confused right now. So clearly it's Conflict is Savage and Aaron. Knife hand Jeremy. Scream, probably Jeremy, I guess. Jab, maybe Nick and Savage. Right uppercut, that's clearly me. Knife hand Jeremy. Backhand, that's Aaron. Tickle giggle, that's Nick.
I think you're reading way too far into this.
Oh, all right.
I thought he was trying to do the Konami code.
That's actually kind of where I went to.
That's the Jerami code.
If you do those things to him, he'll turn around and laugh and then kill you.
And then choke you out. All right, next review.
Need help by with an R.
Yes, he does.
5 stars. Following like The Pores, High Point, Commies, Women, Small Children, Savage, Hate Bad, You, Decisions, Hard, Trump, 4A, Love, Constitution, News, Derp, etc. Thank you.
Wow, you picked a great time for China to mess with your internet connection. Read that one more time so we can get good recordings of all those words.
I'm putting together a deep fake of Jeremy, and you just need to read the following lines for it to work. I, The Pores, High Point, Commies, Women, Small Children, Savage, Hate, Bad, You, Decisions, Hard, Trump, 4A, Love, Constitution, News, Derp, etc. Thank you. I feel like I need to do Savage twice.
Right.
So I can be like Savage and Savage.
Well, I can't wait to see how that is misused by our listeners. If you would like to leave us a review,
that's going to be a great soundboard.
It will be. Go to We Like Shooting. You can leave us a review on either iTunes or don't go to We Like Shooting. Leave us a review on iTunes or Facebook. and Jeremy will have to read it. It is time to wrap up. But before we go, John, thanks so much. Laser app, LASRAPP.com is the place they can find you. Any final words of encouragement or wisdom that you would like to impart to the people who listen? Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Are you guys on all the social media and all that good stuff?
Yeah, we do all the. Well, I don't do the social media. I pay someone else to do that.
Perfect.
But yeah, we're on the social medias and all the good stuffs. So check us out. Tons of videos, tons of reviews. And thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out at your office till like 11 at night.
Hey, right on the dot.
Dude,
All right.
300 episodes.
Yes, and Aaron, perfect segue. 300 episodes. This is our 300th episode of this show, and we're on like 105 of Double Tap. That's a lot of shows, guys. Congrats.
We should have got our first guest ever back.
Who was our first guest ever? It was that crazy British dude.
That British dude that just randomly joined.
Yeah, I wasn't even on that show.
He's like, you don't need a gun, and he's like, and he's like, you don't need a dog,
man.
Oh, God, that guy was hilariously horrible.
To this day, does anyone even know how he got into the Hangout?
No.
Nope.
So weird. I don't know. So 300, Aaron, Nick, Jeremy Savage, congrats, guys. Freaking.
Yay!
It's a big accomplishment. I mean, what have you done 300 times? You've taken 300, and I'm talking this week.
Yeah.
Like you've gone to the bathroom 300 times, you've eaten meals 300 times. Well, what else in your life have you done 300 times?
Drove to work.
Drank.
Drove to work, drank,
Slept.
Woke up.
slept, woke up.
I like how the glass is half empty, half full between Nick and I.
Anything else that you've done 300 times? John, what have you done 300 times?
I had sex with your mom.
Wow.
In Savage's case, watched the entire Twilight series of movies.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Talked on the phone.
Say, watch Star Wars at least 300 times.
Probably. John, what have you done 300 times?
So a lot of people don't know this, but the ducks at the park, they're free. You can take those home. I have 300 ducks.
That's amazing. What is it? Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or a duck-sized horse?
A duck-sized horse.
I would have nipple-sized sized nipple.
This is a legit question.
You didn't seem to think so.
That's the dumbest question ever.
Yeah, but you have to answer it.
The duck-sized horse. It's so obvious. I don't want to get eaten by a giant duck.
No, not that question. The other question.
Yeah.
Oh, the nipples question.
Would you rather have...
Obviously, I want to have for nipples. I mean, that's who wouldn't want that?
Are you saying you don't?
Yeah. Aaron does. They're like
sad part
pepperonis.
is Aaron's is the size of his nipples.
Aw.
His nipples.
It's not sad. It's tragic.
His nipples are 6 inches long.
So I think it's very fitting that our 300th episode was marked with a blizzard and tech issues. It's just it's symbolism of the last 300. So congrats, guys! Huge accomplishment, and to everyone who's out there still listening.
Symbolic.
What did I say? Symbology?
No, you said symbolism. It's symbolic of the last 299 episodes.
So wait, symbolic,
Grammar.
Yeah.
Symbiotic.
symbiotic.
Why didn't we get cake for this episode?
Synchronization.
Asynchronous.
Synergistically.
Synergistic. All the S words.
We need to keep the saw sharp.
What?
The saw sharp.
Sharpening the saw. You never heard that expression?
No, actually, you fucking.
You look like you've seen it before.
I don't know. I don't think I have. But
Don't cross the road if you can't get out of the kitchen.
exactly. With your ducks, dude.
It
300
ain't over
ducks.
till it's over.
Yeah, that's so much duck. Like holy.
So many ducks.
All right. Thanks to everyone who's listened for all 300 episodes, and for the people who are new. Someday we hope that you will have listened to 300 episodes. And join a gun-related advocacy group, Firearms Policy Coalition, Gunners of America, Second Amendment Foundation. And if you're a member of the NRA, look, we're going to have to fight next year at the annual meeting. So keep that up, and we hope to see you there. Nick, we're gonna knuckle up and guard our grills.
Yep.
All right, it's gonna be awesome. We always give out the suicide prevention line. This is the 300th time on this episode that we are on this show that we've done it. The number is 1-800-273-8255, or you can text 741-741. Aaron, any last words at the end of episode 300?
No.
Wow. Nick, any last words at the end of episode 300?
Wow.
Wow. Jeremy, any last words at the end of episode 300?
Kill all the commies.
Savage, any last words at the end of episode 300?
This is We Like Shooting.
All right. Well, that'll do. And my last words are the same as they were 300 other times. Thanks for listening. Get some medical training and
Shoot straight.
Shoot straight. God.
But it wasn't getting the medical training in the last 300, just like the last 100.
Off, Savage.
So my cousin was telling me this story about he was like 19 and he stole a duck from a country club.
Dude, what?
So he ended up catching the thing and like shoving it in the back of his truck and closing it up in there. And then he turned around and there were like some people on the golf course just like jaw dropped staring at him. And he was like, I fish and wildlife and testing and you know. And then he like jumped in the truck and he said he drove home and ended up making a sandwich out of the duck.
Like he killed the duck?
Yes. He killed it and cooked it and made a sandwich.
Live duck between two pieces of bread.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
But he said he was like super worried that they were going to call the cops on him or something.
Yeah.
So he's like, I just have to get rid of it, you know. So so he made a sandwich.
So I'm telling you, dude, if suddenly I end up with like a duck, this is how I got it. From the
You know, there's a golf course down the street.
I know, and they've always got ducks there.
Let's go get one tonight. We're going to get
tags
when we get the PVS 14.
Yeah.
You know, birds can't see in the dark very well. We'll take the PVS 14 and we'll go kidnap a duck.
Yeah, Nick and I are actually building night vision right now, and we're going to use it to kidnap ducks.
Oh, yeah.
Did you think that show was worth $1? Help the cast by visiting lovewls.com.